What's good, y'all? CBH is CD Southern with another game of Southern Gridiron Darts. And today we're going to be talking about the World Baseball Classic, which is going on right now. And I've been watching feverishly. As you can see, I got the U.S. versus Japan, two of the best teams when it comes to baseball, probably the two best nations when it comes to baseball. So it should be a fun one. If you want to know more about the game and how I developed the game, there's a link in the description to the history of Southern Gridiron Darts as I play a game and explain some of the rules when it comes to this. You can also download it yourself at cdsouthern.com, which you also have a link for that in the description below too. In the first game, I beat the computer 38-17, which is not normal when I'm playing at MVP rules and the computer's playing at veteran level. But we'll see what happens in today's game, all right? So let's get this thing started. I'm going to start with the with a coin toss. All right. If I hit the bullseye, then I win the toss. Oh, close, but not there. So Japan, the computer wins the toss. We'll go from here. So yeah, I started keeping up with the WBC. Oh, we got a touchback here. Let me go to the touchback. When it first came out in like 2006, I didn't really pay much attention to it, just like most people or most Americans when it came to this competition, because I always felt like the best players were in America. So it wasn't really much of a reason to watch an international tournament when we pretty much had the best players. But for some reason, back in 2023, I started paying attention to the event again, and I started recognizing so many different MLB players from other nations or playing for other nations, and it made it more interesting in that respect, because I'm just like, oh, okay, wait, hold on, we don't have all the best players in the world. And a matter of fact, about 25 to 30% of all major league players come from outside the U.S. So I didn't really realize that until I started looking into it, and the computer starts off very strong here with a stonewall. Goodness gracious, stonewall me on the very first drive. All right, let me see what I can get here. Probably go for this 14. There it is. I had to punt here. That's the problem. Yeah, so about 25 to 30% of all MLB players come from outside of America. 50. Goodness gracious. Peter's not going to let me breathe. All right, give me 1 second. Let me try to take care of this real quick as I drop the dart. All right, let me try to hit this 9. Not a great way to start it. Not a great way to start the game. All right, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I saw how many other players play for different countries outside the U.S., and that brought me into it. And then also watching the fans from other teams. It was kind of like watching the Little League World Series. You know how the other fans from other countries really represent during the Little League World Series, and it was that, except to a whole nother level for the WBC. You had the Dominican Republic representing down in Miami. Japan and Korea have crazy fans out there also. Mexico represented well, especially whenever they play the U.S. Ooh, treble 30, or excuse me, treble 20, which is a 30-yard gain. There we go. I got to represent well if I'm going to be representing the U.S. here. All right. There we go. All right. Could end up at the 2-yard line. Let's see what happens here. But yeah, just watching all those other fans and the atmosphere that they brought to the game, they bring a different kind of energy to baseball than we do here in America. It feels like more of a celebration, and it was just very interesting, very fun watching that back in 2023. And then the way that one ended with Japan and the U.S. In the finals, and then Shohei Ohtani going up against Mike Trout, which those were the two best players. Oh, yeah, I just need 2 yards. Those were the two best players and MLB at that time. And they ended up facing off against each other in the ninth inning. That was just absolutely insane. And for Shohei to strike him out, giving Japan their third victory in the WBC, that's when I really started paying attention to it, because it was just so fun watching that event with all that energy. All right, got that touchdown. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Good start to the game, 7-7. We're going to continue on here. But yeah, and I don't know why that happened that way, but it may have been, all right, gotta go for the point conversion. It may have been because they didn't play the event in 2020 because of COVID. I'm not sure. But whatever the reason, it just all of a sudden it went to another level in 2023 that's carried over here into 2026. You know, like 52 million Japanese watched the final to the WBC in 2023, which is a higher percentage of Japanese who watched the final to the WBC than Americans that watch the Super Bowl every single year, like the percentage of the population. Now, of course, like over 100 million watch the Super Bowl in America, but that's not nearly the same percentage of our population as 52 million watching the WBC championship in Japan. 52 million is like almost half of their country. So that just lets you know how fervent they are about the sport. All right, here we go. 11-13. Short on that. Oh, no. See if that's enough for a first down here. I don't think it is. No, they're barely short. And I don't know. Should I have the computer go for this? You're at midfield pretty much. Oh, man, that's kind of tough. Yeah, but if I could stop that, that's good field position. I probably have the computer punt. I don't know. Some of y'all out there may have a little more courage and go for it. But anyway, yeah, 52 million Japanese. Oh, bad punt. 52. Wow, terrible punt. 52 million Japanese watched the final, and then which is just absolutely absurd. But it kind of reminded me of. Oh, come on! I gotta take a picture. Kind of reminded me of the Four Nations tournament that the NHL had during their All-Star break last year, where you had like U.S., Sweden, Canada, Finland playing the Four Nations tournament. And I remember the U.S. and Canada got into a fight, like 3 fights right when the puck dropped to start the game, because the Canadians were booing the Americans' national anthem, the U.S.'s national anthem. And, you can't have that. So the players had to represent for the U.S. and Canadian players had to represent for their people. It was a whole bunch of politics involved and all that stuff. But it lets you know just how passionate they were about representing their countries and putting on that jersey. Oh, there we go. I needed that treble 19. That's beautiful. And I feel like that same kind of energy is going on, at least from other countries, when it comes to the WBC. And I think Americans, like, we are starting to catch on to this. It's kind of like during the Olympics when we had the dream team during basketball, where we were so much better than everybody else when we brought our NBA players to the Olympics, that we started sending our B team. And that's why we didn't win gold back in 2004, is because we felt like we were just so much better than everyone else that it was no need for us to send our best players. And to be honest with you, my interest in the basketball in the Olympics was not that big, because I was just like, we're just so much better than everyone else. But as the game has gone on, or as the years have gone on, come on, the rest of the world has caught up to us. Oh, all right. Anyways, the rest of the world has caught up to us. Let's see if I can go up by a touchdown here. And that forced us to send the Redeem team back in 2008. And so we started taking it seriously again. But think about this. In the NBA, we have not had an American win the MVP for the league since 2018 when James Harden did it. Computer denied both of these. It won't be so easy getting this touchdown here. See, I get this right here. All right, there we go. So that just lets you know how the rest of the world is caught up to us in basketball. And of course, the same thing is happening in baseball. And that's just brought more attention, or that just raised the interest in the WBC. I've had me and my friends, I'm actually going to a game tomorrow. Nice touchdown. I'm actually going to flying out to Houston tomorrow to watch the U.S. play Canada, ironically, as they play yet again in another sport. Now, this time it's not hockey. It's going to be baseball. So we go from hockey's national pastime or go from Canada's national pastime to America's national pastime. So hopefully Canada doesn't repay the favor of what we did to them during the Winter Olympics. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, me and my friends, we've been talking about the WBC. I work with a very diverse group of friends. Like I know people from Mexico, Dominican Republic, Korea, and things like that. And we've been talking about the WBC, so that energy has really been there, and it's been really fun just talking about the event in general, and just a whole bunch of trash talking. A little bit of betting's been going on and things like that, just because everybody cares about their country and representing. And come on, let's see if I can get this real here. There we go. One more, baby. Dang it. I couldn't get that other one. And I think a thing that makes this competition real interesting is because in baseball, usually the best team is determined over the span of 162 games, in my opinion. I don't think the playoffs really reflect who the best team in baseball is. Like whoever wins the World Series is more so whoever got hot at that time. And, you can have some fluky plays and this, that, and the third. Bats can go cold at the wrong time. All right, 13, 19, double 8. All right, let's see what I can do here. Come on. There we go. Call out. Try to force this turnover. There we go. There we go. I'll take that. Take that all day. Take that all day. All right, call out. So MVP level, you have to call your shot before you aim for the bullseye. And I called out, so that means I was going for outer bullseye. If I call in, that means I'm going for inner bullseye. I'm just going to go ahead and down the ball with 1 minute left. There's not much I can do here with 1 minute left and a half. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Nice. I'll take that. I'll take that. But yeah. So it's just like I said, it was a whole bunch of trash talking has been going on and things like that, and everybody wants to represent their country. And man, but I will say this: when it comes to this year's tournament, the Dominican Republic is stacked. They got was it Manny Machado, Tatis, Guerrero, Juan Soto. They're just absolutely stacked when it comes to that team. And it's just ridiculous watching them play. All right, 14-7. See what I can do with the computer here. And obviously Japan is another one you got to watch out for. I think Japan and the DR are probably the favorites right now, especially with America. We've been struggling during this tournament. We put up 5 runs on Mexico, and that was only from one pitcher who got injured during the inning. So we hit 2 bombs off of him. And we were able to, all right, 16-9. There we go. 9. May have to do another call out here. That double 14 guarantees it. Yeah, let me do a call out. Got it again, baby. There it is. There it is. You can only try to force a turnover after you match the throw. So nice. I'll take that. I'll take that. But yeah, the DR is stacked, absolutely stacked. And America, we haven't been playing very well. We lost to Italy 8-6. We were down 8-0 in that game. Oh, there we go. All right, I just need 13 and I'll go for 19. And of course I hit 7. All right, there we go. So, and to be honest with you, I think Italy's a team you got to watch out for. All right. They got Aaron Nola, who he won't pitch again until the championship if they can make it that far. But that team, they play fundamental defense. They play fundamental baseball in general, and they're hitting bombs, man. I mean, they're hitting absolute bombs. And Puerto Rico better watch out for them. Really, anybody needs to watch out for them because I think they had the pitching to win this thing. Nice, go up 21, or I'm about to go up 21-7. So they definitely have the pitching to win this thing. Some other highlights was Jose Contreras. He used to play for the Yankees. His son. All right, there we go. Got the extra point. Nice, solid kickoff there. His son actually played for Brazil. He's like 17 years old. He actually goes to school here in Atlanta. And he was able to hit, he was able to get Aaron Judge to ground down into a double play with the bases loaded. So a 17-year-old going up against Aaron Judge is absolutely insane. And getting him to ground out, that's a big moment for him. And then Ramirez, Manny Ramirez's son, Lucas Ramirez, he was able to hit 2 bombs off of American pitching. So that was very interesting. I just don't right now. I don't think we're the favorite in this competition. By us, I mean the Americans. Let's see what I can do here. Up 21-7. Forced 2 turnovers. I'm playing pretty well right now. There it is. I don't really need to go for a turnover here. Let's see here. I want to get a stonewall, but stonewall, if you haven't seen another video, stonewall is when you prevent your opponent from picking up a single yard in their offensive possession. Not a single yard. It's a little. It results in a 3 and out, but it's a little bit more than just a 3 and out. You stop them every step of the way. And then also my boy Ozzy Albies hit a 3-run bomb in the 9th inning for the Netherlands to help them. That was a walk-off homer. So it's always good to see Braves represent, especially in that. Got the ball at the 50-yard line. This is beautiful. Let's take care of this. Trying to put this game away here. All right. Go for 15. Oh, man. Yeah, so let me see what I can do here. That's just not going to be enough. But yeah, and another highlight to this World Series so far was that hope you got a chance to watch that. I recorded it on YouTube TV, the Japan-Korea game. That was a good back and forth game with Shohei hitting a homer in that. He had a grand slam in the in the game before that. So that was pretty cool. I'm probably going to go for this here. Maybe I'll punt. See what would a punt look like here? Yeah, I'll be conservative. I really could put this game away. All right, I'll be conservative. Hit the 11 to punt deep. All right, nice. But yeah, that was a really good back and forth game. And then Korea was able to beat Australia with a good margin, a good enough margin to squeeze into the knockout play. Duran for Mexico was able to hit a couple of bombs off the U.S. pitching. I just think our pitching is what's going to hold us back if we're talking about the U.S. and being able to win this tournament. We were lucky that Italy beat Mexico the way. Oh, jeez, we were lucky that Italy beat Mexico the way they did, even allow us to get into the quarterfinals. So, but yeah, this game between the U.S. and Canada tomorrow should be a fun one. And I'll tell you where we at? Okay, I got to call out again. I'm not going to try to go for that inner bullseye. Call out. All right, computer's right back in it. Computer is right back in it. And that's my last call shot. Since I missed that, I wasn't able to get the bonus call shot playing at MVP level. So, all right, well, we got 12 minutes left in the game. It shows 13, but it'll be 12 minutes after the kickoff. But yeah, like I said, so we're going up against them. I think Italy's going up against Puerto Rico, and it stinks for Puerto Rico because they don't have their full complement of players because of the insurance thing, which is something I think Major League Baseball and the Players Union, whatever, they got to kind of figure that out. I know it's kind of hard to insure these kind of contracts. They're huge contracts now, and I know there's not many companies that are going to want to undergo taking on those kind of contracts. But to me, in order for this competition to continue growing and being as big as it can be, you got to have the best players there, and you got to make sure that they're there. And the best way to do that is ensure that they're going to still get their money, or I don't know what kind of arrangement that they'll have to be able to set up. But right now, it kind of takes away from this particular competition, which is already growing, because it feels like watching the WBC, it feels like you're getting October baseball in the middle of spring. That's what it feels like. Like the energy's there. The players have been talking about it. The energy's there. It feels like playoff baseball, but it's during spring training, which is incredible. It's been fun. I can't wait for the energy tomorrow, and I go watch the U.S. and Canada. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of Canadian fans there. Oh, there we go. That trouble. All right, let's see. Go for the 19. Let's try to put this game away here. But I feel like baseball in general has really been going through a resurgence in the game. I think the pitch clock was a great addition. I was skeptical about it at first, but I believe it's been a great addition to the game. It sped games along. I think they take like 2.5 hours now. Before they were taking like 3.5 hours, or well over 3 hours before. And that's good when you have, like, in our modern times with the internet, people are clicking at things and they're moving away from things so quickly. Let's see if I can get 19 here. And you need to be able to keep people's attention, and that's exactly what baseball decided to do. They got rid of the DH in the National League. I'm a purist. I didn't like that, but I can't argue. I can't say that it hasn't helped the game, because it has helped the game. It brought in more offense to the game, but some of the things they're going to have to work. I think Major League Baseball is going to have to worry about. They're going to have to figure out the contract negotiations. They got a CBA coming up, and they're going to have to figure that out. They're also going to have to make sure local markets can watch their teams. All right. See if I can get this right. As I'm not sure if you've heard, but the company that had many of the local regional baseball teams who broadcast regional games has pretty much sold those teams. They're sold their rights to it, or they're going through bankruptcy. And the Braves, it's kind of cool because what do I want to do here? I almost want, yeah, you know what? It's second down, but now the computer can force a turnover because they just matched my last throw. So this is some of the strategy in the game. There's 4 minutes left to go in the game. It's 21-14. Only way the computer can tie this is if they get a turnover and return it for a touchdown, which right now they're set up to be able to do. So I'm going to go for a field goal. This is kind of risky. I'm going to go for a field goal and try to make this a 2-possession game. There it is. Now, the kickoff. Oh, nice kickoff, too. All right. But yeah, like I was saying, the Braves are starting their own thing, like Braves Vision, where they're producing all their games now, and you'll be able to pick it up in the local market if you have, if you're interested in that. But 14, all right, 20. Okay, there we go. All right, just got to match 14. This game's pretty much done deal. There we go. There we go. Outer bull, but it's not going to matter. This game's a done deal. Couldn't get that, but it's all good because that's the end of the fourth quarter. Able to beat the computer again, 24-14. Good game. It was a well played game. But let me finish up some of my points on baseball. So yeah, right now they're getting ready to have the CBA, and they're going to have that at the end of the year. And one of the big things is getting more talent in smaller markets, putting a salary cap in there, because right now the LA Dodgers are taking up, a lot of the talent in baseball. They're putting it on one team. And there are other teams that are not really spending money the way they should be. So they may think about instituting a salary cap, maybe a salary floor to encourage other teams to really start spending money on their rosters, so that the fans have something to go, enjoy, have a team they want to enjoy. So, but I know the players don't want a salary cap, and I can understand that. No one wants a cap on how much they're getting paid, but you're getting paid millions of dollars, but I don't want to get in somebody else's pocket. So that will, hopefully they can figure that out, because I feel like the strike last time they had a strike in 95, it really hurt the game, and they needed steroid era really to bring back baseball, the popularity of baseball. And I don't know if it's ever really, I think it's recovered now, but it took a long time for it to recover to get back to the same level that it is now. And then, like I say, you got to have broadcast in local markets. Now, when it comes to the WBC, it should be kind of interesting to see where they end up going with this, like how they promote it further, where they want to put it in the season. I don't think you could put it in the middle of the summer, because it'll mess up the timing of the regular season. I don't think they want to do that. You have to take 2 weeks off in the middle of the regular season, and you don't want to do it after the World Series. That's like kind of anticlimactic. And it's in the middle of winter when you're going up against, football. You want to stay away from football at all costs. So I think where it is right now with spring training, during the middle of spring training, it's probably the best place for the WBC. Like I say, it's like October baseball in the middle of spring is really fun. Let's check out these stats here in a second. But I don't know. It's just been really fun. Baseball popularity is on the rise. They're seeing double-digit increases in viewership, and you're seeing some of the most watched World Series games also, like with the Dodgers playing and the Yankees. The Dodgers Toronto last year was epic, absolutely epic. So I don't know. It's just this is a good age for baseball right now, and I don't think they want to really ruin that. So hopefully they figure something out, and hopefully they can figure out a way to grow the WBC insofar as in taking care of this insurance issue that they're having, and just continue to grow the game of baseball. So let's check out these stats here. Pretty good game, 24-14. Offense, all right, 3-2 on offensive touchdown. Let me put the glasses on right quick. The yards were pretty even. Uh, we both averaged 10 yards per play. Computer with almost 15 yards per play. 9 first downs. That's a ton of first downs. So my offense was definitely on point, averaging 44 yards per possession. First and goal situations, we both were pretty on point when it comes to that. 26 offensive plays for me. 5 of them were trebles hit. Okay. Computer didn't hit too many trebles, but they did get a double, 1 outer and 1 inner bullseye hit. Let's see what that defense looking like. Computer with 42%, 40% for me. That's both pretty solid defense. Double-digit match for the computer. 3 3-and-outs forced by me. That's pretty solid. 2 by the computer. 2 turnovers. That's really the difference in the game. And we're gonna get to the recap here in a second. I got the field goal there at the end, make it a 2-possession game. Just precaution. Starting my own 30, computer starting. That's decent field position. Not great, not bad. Just kind of where you want to be. Let's check out the game recap. As you can see, I got stonewalled that first possession. Yeah, definitely got stonewall. Had the punt there, and then the computer comes with a 50-yard return, and that set them up for a quick touchdown. Went down 7. I came back right back at the computer with a clean drive, put up 7. Started at my own 28-yard line, went down, got that touchdown. 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Computer gets the ball, has the punt, terrible punt. That's the I believe that was a possession. Sorry to go back, but I think that was a possession when they only needed 1 yard to get a first down, and I had them punt, but I didn't realize their punt was going to be that bad. But anyway, I took that, went down, and ended up getting a touchdown for a 14-7 lead. Took that into halftime. All right, and then I was able to force a turnover to start the second half. So and scored, went up 21-7. I was pretty much in control of the game at that point. Computer came back, another 3-and-out was forced. I got the ball at the 50-yard line. Wasn't able to do anything with it there. Took a 21-7 lead into the final quarter. Computer came back, got that inner bullseye to get a 100-yard gain. Made the game interesting, but on my next possession, took the ball at the 20-yard line, was able to drive all the way down to the 16-yard line of the computer. But after that match throw, I played it safe. I was very conservative and went for the field goal. But to me, that was a smart play that put me up 10, and the computer wasn't able to respond to that. So nothing was able to happen. So that's the end of that. So yeah, that's the game. That was a pretty good game. Ended up 24-14. Like I said, I pretty much been getting lucky against the computer recently. So that's been pretty nice. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this game of Suthun Gridiron Darts. Also, you can check me out on, there's going to be links for Facebook, Instagram. You can check me out on there. If you, once again, download the game. If you want to get this version of the game, you just have to pay $1 a month or $10 for the year. Otherwise, you'll get a version with ads and things like that. You won't be able to play against the computer. You won't get stat tracking and all that good stuff. Also, on my website, CD Southern, you can check out, my book. I've written a book, so you can go ahead and purchase that. That can also support me when it comes to development of the app. I like to be able to develop the app insofar as where you can have league play, so you can create leagues within the app, play with your friends, and also play against people who aren't in the same place as you through the app. So you can play against somebody, cross country, and you would just be playing against each other through the app. So I want to create those developments. Also, I want to be able to do career stats, be able to track your career stats, not just game-to-game stats. But I need a little bit of funding for all that. So just support the game. Tell your friends about the game if you liked it. Play it at home. Like I said, you can download on iPhone, tablet, iPad, Android, whatever. And that's this episode. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. And once again, stay down.